Okay, let's see. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Lal, and we're going to proceed with our first appearance misdemeanor calendar this afternoon. These are misdemeanor criminal cases in which individuals were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Soon after being booked in, their cases have been formally accused. When we address your case on a one-on-one basis, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. So when we address your case, I will let you know what is your new case number, the charges brought against you, who's going to be representing you if a appointed counsel needs to be selected, and also to set a bond. Some of you may qualify for what we call a signature release bond. Will the host please put Rebecca in the waiting room, please? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. All right, as I was saying, some of you may qualify for what we call a release or signature bond, and others may qualify for what we call a surety or cash bond. The type of bond you receive will depend on the nature of the charges, the level of egregiousness, your criminal history record, if you have one, as well as the fact as to whether you have any other open pending cases, as well as whether you have any prior failure, bench warrants or failure to appear in certain other cases in the past 5 years. Okay, let's see now.
Your Honor, would you like the reset date?
I'd love to. Thank you. I was trying to think what I had to ask you. Thank you.
Your reset date for the SAP calendar is July the 22nd.
Thank you so much. Okay. Is that a Tuesday or Thursday? It's just wondering whether it's going to be it's a Tuesday. Okay. Thank you so much. Courtroom 2, who do we have first?
Position number 17 is Peterson.
All right. Thank you. Is ACDC joining us as well?
They probably still in felony court.
Okay. Got it. This is State versus Erica DeCold Peterson. Ms. Peterson is accused of willful obstruction of a police officer or law enforcement and pedestrian in roadway from June 27th of this year. Case 25 CR 3880F. Ms. Peterson, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Any priors?
Fourth arrest, 2020 ag assault dismissed. 2014 dangerous drugs dismissed.
Okay. Mr. Scirocco and Mr. Haddad is going to be $500 on each count. This is going to be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial services and level 1. And if she gets arrested again, make sure she brings $1,000 with her to jail. Her next court date will be sent to her current address. Please make sure that you keep up with your court summons. Next case.
Number 23, Thomas.
Thomas, okay. This is going to be Briani Alexandra Thomas, accused of simple assault and willful obstruction of an officer from July 8th, 2025. Ms. Thomas, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Mr. Haddad, are you riding solo today?
I hope not, Judge. I think Mike McLean is supposed to be on, Judge.
Okay.
Oh, there he is. He's in the courtroom.
Oh, okay, got it. Thank you. All right, and let me see, Mr.
Thomas, 2024 FTA 23 afraid dismissed. Resident of Cordell, Georgia.
Is that north or south of here? Cordell, Georgia.
South, Judge.
South is past Macon.
Then the other one must be Cordelia. Okay. All right, Mr. Scirocco, briefly, what's the recommendation?
Yes, Judge. So this took place July 8th of this year. Law enforcement responded to 641.
I read the warrant. I'm just curious to know what numbers you're thinking of.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, let me briefly restate what we've heard from our victim here. He explained that he works at MORTA, Mr. Kelly, and the defendant's boyfriend was throwing trash after he had just cleaned up that area.
So does he want to live with her again, or he wants her out of the house, or he doesn't?
I don't believe that they're in a relationship. I don't, from my understanding, the defendant's boyfriend was just someone there throwing trash.
Okay.
And so he called MARTA, police was giving them the description, and it was at that point the defendant overheard Mr. Kelly and began threatening him.
Okay.
He explained that the defendant and her boyfriend have been a constant problem at the MARTA
At a
station.
model station, yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
and the MARTA police were going to, according to them, issue a permanent ban. I'm not sure if that's been implemented yet, but the victim stated he wanted no contact with the defendant and wants her to stay away from the MARTA.
Okay.
I don't believe Mr. Kelly's online. I would ask the court sound for him, but given the threatening nature here, this is scary stuff. And with the state's recommendation with the 2024 FTA and the prior violent charge, although it was null prost, is a $5,000 total surety, $4,000 on the simple assault, and $1,000 on the willful obstruction. It's currently set at an $8,000 total surety with $4,000 on each.
All right.
No further contact with Brian Kelly. Stay away from the MARTA station at 641 West Peachtree Street, Northeast Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Got it. Thank you. Mr. Haddad, any objection to the stay away?
No, Judge. They're strangers. It's fine with the stay away from MARTA. I spoke to my client. She plans on going back and living with her mom. She's originally from Cordell, Georgia, Judge. And I would just ask the court to consider a release through pretrial services, Judge.
I would, but she's got the 2024 FTA. As you know, she could disqualify. She's disqualified from a pretrial bond. On the simple assault is going to be 500. It's a surety bond. And on the willful obstruction is going to be a 500 signature bond through the jail. This is a $1,000 split bond. No further contact with Brian Kelly, and to stay away from all MARTA property until further order of the court. So, Ms. Thomas, if you plan to return to Cordell, Georgia, I don't think MARTA extends that far, so you should be ripe and safe, and just keep up with your court summons, and don't forget to come back to court when summoned if you make bond. Otherwise, your next court date is going to be July 22nd.
Thank you, Judge.
Position number 10, Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones? Gerald Jones is accused of simple battery against a police officer from July 8th, 2025, case 25 CR 3873A. Mr. Jones, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Correct?
It is, Judge.
All right. Until Mr. McLean chimes in, I'm just going to assume they're all yours, Mr. Haddad, okay? And I'm sorry, let me get to that case.
It's Gerald, correct?
This is Gerald with a G Jones. Yes, not Joshua.
6 adult on probation for ag assault, ag battery. It's 18 SC 162093.
Okay.
On probation for riot in penal institution, 18 SC 162171. 2018, 3 counts for simple battery conviction. 2019 battery of a interesting nature conviction.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a new euphemism for the new era. So,
I
Miss
tried
Falk,
to switch it up.
understood. Miss Falk, what's your bond recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. The bond is currently set for a $10,000. Yes, a $10,000 surety bond on this case. We are agreeable to reducing it to a $5,000 surety bond. I think the thing that still concerns the state is the fact that the defendant just walked up to the officer, punched her multiple times in her arm through the window of her patrol vehicle, and then when he was asked the reason for it, he replied, "Once it plays through, then I'll let you know," which just sounded very ominous. And he stated he wanted to go to jail because he was already on probation. You heard from pretrial services what he was already on probation for. So we
Okay.
think a $5,000 surety bond is reasonable. No further violent contact with Officer S. Parson, as well as no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We're also asking that he stay away from the Chevron gas station at 336 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. That's all for the state.
Mr. Haddad?
Judge, my client is 27 years of age. I think the background is some MH issues, Judge. He does live with his mom. He's currently unemployed due to that, Judge, due to the fact that I think he receives some type of Social Security of some sort, Judge.
SSI?
In any event, Judge, I would ask the court to consider a lower bond. I don't think the family can post a $5,000 bond, Judge.
Well, the last time he was in jail, it was for 830 days. So I don't know whether he missed us or what, but the bond is set at 3,500. This is a surety bond. No further violent contact with Officer Spain and no violent contact with law enforcement. Stay away from the Chevron gas station at 336 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. I would require a social worker visit and reset this to July 22nd or July 24th. The competency calendar.
Your Honor, I think the 22nd is fine. I mean, I was able to talk to him. I don't think it reaches to that level, Judge.
Okay, July 22nd will be his next court date. Thank you.
Your Honor, you said a 3,500 surety bond?
Yes, that would be correct.
Okay.
Position number 11, Joshua Jones.
Oh, the other Jones. Okay. Joshua middle, oh no, that's no middle initial. Joshua Jones is accused of 3 counts of simple battery family violence from June 11th of this year under accusation number 25 CR 3872E. Mr. Jones, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Mr. Haddad. Any priors?
Hold on.
Okay.
All right, Josh Jones. I got 12 total. Got open DUI out of the city. 2020 probation, 2019 simple battery DV conviction. I got an 08 ag assault first offender, 09 ag assault with intent to rob, ag assault, possession of a knife for a firearm during the commission.
Were
First
these
offender.
were these all before 2010?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
2008 and 9.
All right.
And you got the 2019 simple battery DV conviction.
Well,
That's
I
it.
got that. Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor, this defendant has no bond on this case. I understand that it did happen last year, June 11th, 2024. But our main concern is when we spoke with Shakita Wilson, she stated that the two of them are in a relationship. They do live together at Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, and they share two children. She confirmed the events in the warrant that he grabbed her out of the vehicle, pushed her several times, and snatched a purse out of her hand, breaking the strap and causing an injury to her. But she said it was a misunderstanding. She also said that she is not in fear of him and that nothing like this has ever happened before. The state's problem with that is this actually did happen before under 19 CR 007655Y. The defendant was convicted of simple battery family violence against Shakita Wilson for striking her and was ordered to 12 months probation, 60 days in jail, FVIP, 50 hours of community service on September 25th of 2019. He also has that first offender aggravated assault possession of firearm case in 2010, but our bigger concern is the previous case of family violence against Miss Wilson. For that reason, the state is requesting a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Shakita Wilson, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, FVIP, and stay away from 1197 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard in Atlanta, Georgia. We would like to sound from Ms. Shakita Wilson if she is available. That's all for the state.
Okay. Will the host please bring in the other person who was placed in the waiting room unless they're already in? Okay, I do see Shakita Wilson on the Zoom. Ms. Wilson, if you want to address the court, please unmute and start your video. Otherwise, I'm moving on. All right. Unmute. Unmute. Last time, okay, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Were you previously a victim from a prior case in 2019?
Not really. We was living with his mom. It had a lot to do
Okay,
with.
so not really. So what about now? Are you a victim now?
No, ma'am. We was living in our car. We was homeless. We was outside for 3 days in our car, and we was just frustrated. We was so frustrated. His mom let our kids in, but she ended up throwing them out like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. We was just frustrated, and I feel like I went overboard because I was angry. Me and my babies were sleeping in the car for 3 days.
All right, Miss Wilson, now you called the police. What,
Yes.
clearly you needed assistance.
No, I really did. I really just did it out of anger.
Okay,
Because
that's
I
all I
just-
needed to know. That's all I needed to know.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Haddad, anything else to add?
No, not about the facts, Judge. My client is 33 years of age, Judge, as the court heard. They are, I mean, both him and her are not in the greatest financial situation. He is a chef by trade, Judge, currently unemployed. They have 2 kids together. I would just ask the court to grant as low of a bond, if not through pretrial services,
Okay.
Judge.
On each count, it's going to be 2,000. That's going to be a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial services, and this is going to be a level 2. He will report to pretrial services twice a month. He will have no further violent contact with Shakita Wilson, which means there cannot be any future physical or verbal altercations. So if Miss Wilson is claiming that this guy is the perfect gentleman, that's according to her. But if he engages in any more future physical or verbal altercations with her, he's right back in jail with no bond. And there's going to be no more arguments about that. Within 30 days of being released, he will show proof to the pretrial services that he's using some of his income to enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. This is a series of 26 classes, and he will need to attend and complete each and every class at his expense. So time to tighten the belt and take some classes and understand that we're not going to tolerate this kind of situations anymore. So your next court date is going to be sent to your current address. Make sure you provide us with a good mailing address. If you fail to show up in court because you didn't check up on your court dates, the bond will be revoked. Thank you. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons.
Thank you, Judge.
Number 8, Ms. Horde, and she said that she's gonna pro se because her attorney is not logging on.
All right, Ms. Wilson, you're free to go. And this is position number 8. Where is that? Did I miss that? Okay, there she is. This is Carolyn Horde, accused of simple battery from June 3rd, 2025, case number 25 CR 3884F. Ms. Horde, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. One would be appointed to represent you and provide you with their competent legal services. Otherwise, if you choose to represent yourself, you are responsible for understanding the law, the criminal procedures, as well as the requirements to set bond. Keep in mind that anything you say can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. Would you like appointed counsel?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Are you waiving your right to counsel and representing yourself?
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the consequences of representing yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see now. Mr. Howard?
7. Got an open theft by conversion in state court.
Okay.
Got an open ag assault, possession of a knife or a firearm in Superior, 25 PI
Mhm.
001308. Got another open ag assault, possession of a knife or a firearm. It's 25 SCs 000722. And had a 2019 ag assault that was no bill.
Okay. That's unindicted. All right. Ms. Falk, just briefly, what is the bond recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. I also want to mention she has a 25 CR 00865F case. That is a theft by conversion out of Sandy
Yes.
Springs. Your Honor
Yes.
actually issued that bond in the amount of $6,000 surety bond on February 19th of 2025. We also received the report, which had some additional information. We spoke with our victim, Aaliyah Collins, who stated she has never seen the defendant prior to this incident where she was an employee at Publix and the defendant began arguing with her over bread. The defendant pulled her hair out during the altercation. She also had a scratch on her face. This was also viewed by the officers when they were on the scene, and they also watched the video, which showed the defendant suddenly jumping out of her car, attacking Miss Collins, and punching her repeatedly before being pulled off by her mother.
So
defendant's
what's the
mother.
bond amount?
So
So they got a $3,000 surety, so you want to keep it the
Just to
same?
finish, she did state her supervisor does not want her back at that location, which is the Publix at 1250 West Paces Ferry Road in Atlanta, and
Okay.
she wants no contact. So those are going to be conditions of the bond. I know the bond is $3,000 surety, but given the fact she already has a $10,000 surety bond on that 1308 aggravated assault, a $25,000 surety bond on that 2024 SC aggravated assault, and a $6,000 surety bond from Your Honor from 4 months ago, we're going to ask for a $3,000 cash bond, no further contact with Aaliyah Collins, stay away from that Publix at 1250 West Paces Road in Atlanta, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. She's already out on 3 bonds. This is her 4th alleged offense. I don't believe she is going to not be a risk of reoffense at this point.
Okay, thank you. Miss Horde, do you have any comment about your bond?
No, ma'am.
All right. The bond's going to be set at $3,000. It's going to be a cash bond only. No further contact with Aaliyah, what was it again?
Aaliyah Collins.
Aaliyah Collins, and to stay away from all public stores, including the one at West Paces Ferry Road. Your next court date is going to be July 22nd, and we're going to address this new case as well as 25 CR 000865F. Thank you.
And Your Honor, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons?
Yeah, that's pretty
Thank you.
much my standard provision,
I
unless
appreciate it. I just wanted to put it on the record.
understood.
Number 12,
12. There we go. Mr. Tyler Landon is accused of terroristic threats and acts and harassing communications from July 7th of this year. His accusation is 25 CR 3871A. Mr. Landon, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Mr. McLean. Any priors?
Second arrest, 2023 simple assault arrest. I didn't have a disposition.
All right. Thank you.
That is outside of the SOL, Your Honor, so we will be NODing the simple assault case, not this case. But on this case, we will agree to a signature bond through pretrial services. We did have an opportunity to speak with Ms. Landon, who is the victim. She stated that they just wanted the defendant to get some MH treatment. And, you know, when the argument ensued where he threatened to punch her teeth out, she was kind of disturbed by the tenor of the argument, but they are currently trying to get him into a treatment facility. We ask that he comply with medications as prescribed by a doctor, have no further violent contact with Christy Lambden, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. At this time, we would like to sound from Ms. Lambden to see, and I believe I see her here on the Zoom, if she has anything else she would like to add. That's all for the state.
Thank you. Christy Landon, if you want to address the court, this is the time to unmute and start your video.
Hello, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, good. Thank you.
Hi.
Ms. Landon, please raise
Hi,
your
Your-
right hand.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
And how do you know Tyler Landon?
He's my son.
Okay, you can put your hand down, man.
Okay.
All right. And does he live with you?
He does.
All right. And
He-
does he have a regular healthcare provider for both medical and mental issues?
Yes, ma'am, he did until his Oscar plan terminated that provider. And since then, he was living by himself in an extended stay. And then he lived with me for a couple of days and there was an altercation. And now I have resecured him a new provider. He was off his medication, and I have secured a new provider that I can get him back on his medication, and I am willing to take him back in and oversee his medical treatment again.
All right. And you understand that if he fails to comply and listen to you, that could be grounds to revoke his bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. McLean, on the terroristic threats, it's going to be 1,500. On the harassing communications, it's going to be 1,000. This is going to be a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. This would be a in-person visit once a month. Within 10 days of being released, he must be evaluated by a healthcare mental health provider and make sure that he resumes treatment and his medication in a timely and complete manner. If he fails to be compliant with treatment, if he has violent contact with Christy, Landon, or any other occupants of the property, or if he gets arrested again, this signature bond will be revoked and he'll be back in jail with no bond. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. So, Ms. Landon, if you have any firearms in your home, either the guns go or Tyler goes. You
Yes,
decide.
ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yeah.
You said something about once a month or once a week.
Once a month, level
Okay.
1.
Your Honor, my client says no objection.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, was that within 10 days?
Within 10 days to seek out his
Treatment provider.
treatment in accordance with Ms. Christy Landon's instructions.
Just wanted to make sure I had the date right. Thank you.
Number 16, Mr. Pate.
14, 15, 16, okay. Okay. This is Harold Edward Pate, accused of criminal trespass from May 31st of 2025, and his accusation is 25 CR 3862. Mr. Pate, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Mr. McLean. And Mr. Howell?
Third arrest, 2014. He had 6 counts of failure to appear. It was an ag assault with that arrest. The ag was a conviction. That's all.
When was the conviction?
14.
Okay. Mr. Scirocco, his bond is going to be set at $1,500. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services level 1, and to stay away from the incident location. Remind me, I honestly can't remember where.
Judge, the state would object to that bond amount. We would ask for a bond hearing.
Just give me a moment. What was the incident location?
2125 Joseph E. Boone.
Okay. 2125 Joseph E. Boone, and to have no further contact with Jacqueline Pate. He needs to stay away from Jacqueline Pate, stay away from the location. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. What's the objection to the bond, Mr. Scirocco?
The objection has to do with the prior ag assault from 2014, where it was that also involved a family member. He was pointing a firearm at a family member with whom he resided. That was Mr. Jarvis Pate, and then shooting at him. So that conviction. Also, with respect to victim contact, we have spoken to her. She confirmed the events in the warrant with the kicking in of the door and everything. And she states that her landlord affirms the defendant can't return, and that she has not seen the defendant but wants him to stay away and have no further contact. Given that the history, the sort of context behind that prior ag assault, we're concerned with respect to him and family members. So we're concerned about reoffense here and any risk to Ms. Pate. The state's recommendation is $1,000 surety, a social worker visit for BHET and housing, no further contact, and stay away, in addition to no drugs, weapons, or alcohol, Judge.
So, Mr. Pate, I'm going to deny the state's request to modify to a surety bond. Your bond is still going to remain at 1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1, and you need to stay away from the entire apartment complex where Jacqueline Pate lives. You are not allowed anywhere near that location. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you return to that location, we will just escort you back to jail. But next time, make sure you bring $1,500 with you, because that's how much it's going to cost you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Make sure you come back to court, and within 30 days of being released, we'll need a good mailing address, and it cannot be the same apartment complex as Jacqueline Pates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 18, Robert.
Denzel Robert is, I just want to make sure there's only one charge. Oh, that was disorderly conduct as well. Okay. So Denzel Robert is case 25S, CR 003-863D, accused of simple assault and disorderly conduct from July 6th of this year. Mr. Robert, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Mr. McLean. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
4. Got an open case out of College Park for shoplifting. Got an open case out of Clayton County for ag assault and reckless conduct.
And where
That's
is
it.
this, I'm sorry?
Say that again?
Where's the open ag assault?
Clayton County.
Clayton County, okay.
Um,
Mr. Scirocco, just briefly, the bond recommendation, please.
Yes, Judge. So this was from July 6th. This is a recent incident involving victim Noel Overton at a Texaco gas station
Mhm.
at 635 Lindbergh Drive in Atlanta. The defendant approached the victim. She asked him to leave her alone several times.
Oh, I already got all that part. I
Okay.
just want to know, what do you want to, what kind of
Sure,
bond do
Judge.
you want me
So
to?
the bond is currently set at 1,500 surety on the simple assault.
Mhm.
We added and we are asking for an additional $1,500 surety on the disorderly conduct for a total of $3,000 surety. And according to the victim we've spoken, she stated that he held a knife to her tire and told her that if she didn't leave, he would slash her tire. And then then she went and got in her car and left immediately. She wants no contact with the defendant. We would ask the court sound for Miss Overton. And the basis for the state's asking for $3,000 total surety, in addition to the disturbing context here, is that open ag assault case that he has, that ag assault reckless conduct out of Clayton.
Oh, yeah, I got all that part. I
okay.
just wanted to know, no contact, stay away, and $3,000 surety, correct?
In addition to a 2-day anger awareness, Judge.
Okay. Mr. McLean?
Thank you, Your Honor. Denzel Roberts is 30 years old, has a stable address, it appears, on Fayetteville Road, and his emergency contact has a local area code to their number. He's born in Noonan, looks like Georgia all his life, high school graduate, warehouse jobs and restaurant jobs in the last 5 years.
Does he live in Fairburn, Georgia?
Currently, the address appears to be Fayetteville Road, so that would be,
And is that a good address?
is that Fairburn? Yes, sir. Is it 30213? Yes, sir. Okay, that is Fairburn, 30213.
Okay.
We would ask the court to consider signature bond. Thank you.
Unfortunately, because of his recent open case and the nature of the allegations set forth, on the simple assault, it's going to be 1,000. On the disorderly conduct, it's going to be 500. This is going to be a 1,500 surety bond to have no further contact with Noel Overton and to stay away from the gas station in question. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And the next court date is going to be July 22nd.
This phone stayed on purpose. That's a good one.
Do you have done?
Yeah, I'm ready whenever you are.
Position number 19, Mr. Robinson.
State versus Damon Robinson, case number 25 CR 3864A. Mr. Robinson, you have 5 misdemeanor charges stemming from a July 7th, 2025 incident. They are two counts of battery family violence, 1 count of battery against a female who is pregnant, and 2 counts of simple battery family violence. You have been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Mr. McLean. Mr. Howard, any priors?
14. Last arrest I saw was 2012, lewd conduct, probation vio out of New Orleans.
Mhm.
I don't recall seeing any violent arrests.
All right, thank you. Mr. Scirocco?
Thank you, Judge. We have spoken with the victim here. She confirmed that the defendant and she are in a relationship, that they live together at the incident location, and that she is currently pregnant with his child. She confirmed the events in the warrant with respect to what happened on July 7th at 990 Viney Way in Atlanta. With the picking her up by the arm, grabbing her, forcing her by the back of the neck outside with no shoes on. She had marks on her finger from twisting, from the defendant twisting it, a scratch on her elbow, all sorts of things, including pushing her down the stairs while she was pregnant. So the state is asking for a $4,000 total surety on this case. We would be asking for, it would be 3,000 on each of the battery family violence counts and the battery against a pregnant person count, and $500 surety on each of the other simple battery charges. And she explained to us that he's been verbally aggressive towards her before. And thankfully, she just got a TPO granted this morning, as well as for her to have sole custody of the residence. So there's no reason for him to return back to the residence, consistent with what we'd be asking for additionally, which would be for him to complete the family violence intervention program, have no further contact with Stacia West, stay away from 990 Viney Way, Atlanta, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And we would, in accordance with Marcy's law, sound for Miss West at this time.
All right, Stacia West. If you are on Zoom, this is the time to, okay. Miss,
Wow.
hello, Miss West. May I place you under oath?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
All right. So everything that the prosecutor just indicated to the court, do you agree with that?
I agree in full. Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you, Miss West.
Thank you.
Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, he says the New Orleans, Louisiana allegation of a prior arrest is incorrect. It's not him. He hasn't been there. Your Honor, he has an associate degree in business management. After high school, he has worked jobs. He owns his own business. He has a photography business and an event business.
Okay.
We would ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond on this, including a signature bond if that is possible.
Okay, thank you. Miss Bridgewater, I'm going to go by the count number. So count 1 is going to be $1,500. Count 2 is going to be $1,500. And these two are going to be a signature bond through pretrial services level 2. Count 3 is going to be a $2,000 surety bond. Count 4 is going to be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. And count 5 is going to be 1,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. So this is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be a $7,000 split bond, out of which $2,000 is surety and $5,000 is a signature bond through pretrial services level 2. He would need to report to pretrial services twice a month. He will have no further contact with Stacia West and no further contact with any child or children that he shares with Miss West. If he wishes to have any contact with the child or children that he shares with Miss West, he would need to file the appropriate legitimation case in a timely fashion. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Within 30 days of being released, he will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. And this is a series of 26 classes, which he'll need to complete at his expense without missing or skipping any classes. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons and no firearms. He will be subject to random screens for drugs and or alcohol. He's not allowed to return to 990, I think it's called Viney Way, V-I-N-E-Y Way in Atlanta, Georgia. And that means the entire apartment complex. He cannot go to the leasing office. He cannot go to the common areas, the grounds, and especially not to the unit that Miss West occupies. Next court date will be set at July 22nd.
Your Honor, one-time visit.
Denied.
Thank you.
Your Honor, can I get the breakdown again, please?
Sure. Counts 1 and 2 are $1,500 each. Signature bond through pretrial level 2. Count 3, battery against a female who's pregnant, is $2,000 surety. Count 4 and 5 is $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2.
Thank you.
Mr. McLean, your client currently has an ex parte protective order against him. So that's why he's not allowed to return to the property. I'm going to go with whatever that protective order says. Now, if he's going to be served at the jail, he will have a superior court hearing from the jail. They normally hold it, I believe, on Thursday afternoons. So he can look up the protective order to see whether he's allowed a one-time visit.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, Deputy, we're ready.
Number 24, Mr. White.
This is State versus Ronald White, accused of criminal trespass from July 6, 2025, accusation 25 CR 3867C. Mr. White, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is going to be Mr. McLean. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
I was on the phone. Who is this?
Last position, Ronald White, unless somebody has thrown a couple of add-ons without us knowing.
No, I got him.
Okay.
Man, he got 101.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Mr. Scirocco, where
Yes,
would
sir.
you like him to stay away? From where would you like him to stay away?
It is from the 464 Windsor Street. And we'd be asking for the bond to remain as set, social worker visit for BHET and housing, stay away from that address, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. And I will add, in addition to his many criminal cycles here, most of which consists of public disorderly conduct and trespass. There is the 25 CR 003319C case, criminal trespass. From this year, he was given a $1,000 signature bond from Judge Mincy to stay away from 464 Windsor Street. It was a different listed part of that location, but it's the same address. This one was the BP gas station there, and the other was, I believe, a liquor store, but it's the same address he's returning to. So we are concerned about him returning, hence we would ask that, we think it's reasonable to keep it at 780 in terms of surety bond here. That is all.
Mr. McLean, anything else to add?
Your Honor, he's 59. He has an emergency number with family contacts. He's got Georgia identification, high school education. He's worked in the last 5 years as a brick mason and also constructing and scaffolding and doing what they refer to as finishing work. So it's all construction.
Does he live anywhere on Windsor Street?
Right now, he's residentially challenged.
Okay. Does he work anywhere near Windsor Street?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond is going to remain at $780. It is a surety bond. To stay away from the entire, from one end to the other end, Windsor Street. He's not allowed on Windsor Street at all. So he cannot patronize any of the locations that are on Windsor Street. And we're going to reset this case to July 22nd, along with this other case. Ms. Bridgewater, that's going to be 25 CR 003319C.
Yes, ma'am, I have it.
Thank you.
Position number 14.
This is a bed.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think is Modilu. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Don't speak. She or I ask you a question.
How do I pronounce your client's last name, Mr. McLean?
Modilu.
Modilu. Okay. Two counts. One is simple battery. The other one is simple assault from May 21st of this year. 25 CR 3878E. Mr. Modilu, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Mr. McLean. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
13, 2024 FTA, 23 FTA, 2022 assault on police, larceny conviction, 2019 assault dismissed, 2019 trespass nolo.
Thank you. Mr. Scirocco, bond recommendation?
Yes, Judge, and I will add, pretrial, I'm sorry, for clarification, did you list that assault conviction from 2020 out of Ohio?
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, there is one of those. And then there's felony assaulting, resisting, obstructing an officer, and larceny out of Michigan. I believe it's Michigan. It's the county is Lansing. From 2022. That was a
Yeah, that's Michigan. I didn't have the Ohio history.
Okay, great. All right. Well, we have spoken with the victim here, security guard at the location. If your judge is familiar with the facts, it's the pulling out of the knife and the grabbing of the victim here. She confirmed the events in the warrant, explained she pulled out the knife to defend herself because she didn't know what the defendant was going to do. She still works at the location, and she states the defendant hasn't been back since. She wants no contact and for the defendant to stay away from the location. We would sound for Miss Williams, Demai Williams, at this time in accordance with Marcy's law, and we would ask that the bond remain set at a $3,000 surety, either as a split bond, so 3,000 surety on the simple battery and a signature bond on the simple assault, or 1,500 surety on each charge. We think that's appropriate given the defendant's history of violent offenses and convictions and the facts here.
Okay.
We'd be asking for a 2-day anger awareness, social worker visit for BHET and housing. No further contact with Demai Williams. Stay away from 285 Peachtree Center Ave in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And I will state that I believe he maybe still wanted out of Brazelton for a probation violation.
Brazelton. That's
Yeah.
good in a while. Okay. Mr. Maya Williams, are you on Zoom? If you want to chime in, this is your moment. I have a Dawn's iPhone. Is that Mr. Maya Williams? You need to unmute. All right, not unmuting? Okay. Mr. McLean, your client currently has a $3,000 surety bond.
Yes, Your Honor. He's 31 years old. He has a high school education from 2016. He works in a warehouse. He's done forklift driving. He's also, prior to that, he has painted the manufactured objects for Kubota in Gwinnett County, and before that worked in a chicken processing place. We would ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond, including a signature bond if that is possible. But if not, we would ask the court to consider giving him a $1,000 surety bond.
Okay. On the simple battery, that's going to be 1,000. On the simple assault, it's going to be 1,000. This is a $2,000 surety bond. To stay away from 285 Peachtree Center Avenue in Northeast Atlanta, Georgia, that entire location. So he has to stay 200 yards away from that location. No contact with Demai, DE''MAI, last name Williams. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Next court date is going to be July 22nd.
Number 20, Mr. Russell. Who is that?
Didn't we already do? No, okay. This is State versus Nicholas Russell, accused of 2 counts of theft by taking, and his accusation number is 25 SC 3881H. Incident date appears to be July 23rd of 2023. And Mr. Russell, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Mr. McLean. Any prize?
It's fifth arrest on probation for robbery. It's 12 SC 113959. In 2014, they gave him 15 years, 5 to serve, 10 probated. 2018 trespass, 2012 trespass conviction, and he's wanted out of DeKalb County, according to that GCIC.
All right, thank you. Mr. Scirocco, it's a 2023 case. Any objection to a release to DeKalb County?
So we would object there's a little bit more to the history with respect to I saw a theft by taking conviction from 2012. The criminal trespass that pretrial mentioned was also it was originally a theft by taking. There was a theft by taking that was null prost on that case. Most of his history, if not all, with the exception of like the 2018 FTA out of Decatur, is theft related. We're concerned about reoffense, even if it was nearly 2 years ago. And that would be the rationale behind the state's request that the bond remain at $3,000 surety, either as a split bond, $3,000 on the theft by taking and a signature bond on the other, or $1,500 on each, sort of similar to the state's last recommendation. We'd be recommending an anti-theft course, no further contact with Tessa Pham and Guy Lahua. Stay away from Piedmont Park at 1071 Piedmont Avenue in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And we would sound for Miss Tessa Pham and Guy Lahua at this time.
Okay, thank you. On each count, it's going to be 750. No, actually, it's going to be 1,000 on each count, and that's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, level 3. He'll be reporting to pretrial once a week to make sure that he stays out of trouble and that he makes good friends with pretrial officers. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. He'll be subject to random screens. And unfortunately, Mr. Russell, Piedmont Park will lose you. You have to stay 200 yards away from that beautiful green park in downtown Atlanta and Midtown. You cannot be seen anywhere on their grounds. And if you're seen there, you'll be arrested for criminal trespass, and your signature bond that you've received today will disappear like a puff of wind. You'll be picked up by DeKalb County, and as soon as you're released from DeKalb County, make sure you report to pretrial once a week. Thank you. Oh, and no contact with Tessa Pham, Pham, and Guy, that's Guy, last name Lahua, Lohoua. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number,
Per judge.
Yes, perfect.
number 2, Bradley.
Oh, let's see. Okay. This is State versus Khalil Oba Bradley. Mr. Bradley has 3 counts of battery and 3 counts of simple battery 3 counts of simple battery. They all stem from a March 25th, 2024 incident, case number 25 CR 3874Y. Mr. Bradley, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Any prize?
Yeah. Hold on. What's the date of this, you say?
I have March 25th, 2024.
I have March 25th, 2023. Let me go back and double check.
Ms. Folk, check on this, and I can't remember which case it was also. You mentioned the incident was from 2024, but actually on the calendar is 2025, as well as in the accusation. So I'll try to remember which one it was.
No, it is March 25th, 2024. And you said on the accusations I have 2025?
No, it was another previous case, and I meant to bring that up. I think it was Joshua Jones. You
Okay,
mentioned that it was in 2024, June 11th, but the accusation and the Odyssey indicates it's in June 11, 2025.
2025. Okay, got it.
Okay. So,
Well,
sorry, 12 cycles, okay?
he got an open shoplifting, possession of a firearm by convicted felon. It's 24 PR 000 655. I got a January 26, 2024 battery DV out of East Point. It appears to be open. 2023 battery dead docket. Got a 2018 robbery arrest, 2017 robbery conviction, and a 2017 battery dismissed.
Thank you.
I think that's it.
And pre-trial, just so you know, on that family violence battery. He has a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services on 24 CR 00546H. That was issued by Judge Morrow on January 30th of 2024. Pretrial services level 2, no further violent contact and 1-day anger awareness. So we are asking that that bond be revoked.
They not pretrial not supervising him no more.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it. Thank you. So we did have a conversation, Your Honor, with Miss Chandra Alvin about that incident on March 25th, 2024. She stated that she and the defendant were in a relationship. They never lived together and they shared no children. And when she pulled up to the defendant's house, she saw another woman there who turned out to be also dating the defendant. She stated that the other woman punched the defendant and then ran when the defendant went after the other woman. And then Miss Alvin stated she was trying to get out of her car and close the passenger side door so she could leave. And that's when the defendant went to her and began punching her in the face, causing visible redness and swelling around her left eye. Miss Alvin was able to push him off of her and fled from the location, went to a gas station and called the police. She stated she has not seen him since this incident. She does not wish to have contact with him, and he does not know where she currently lives. There is a $2,500 surety bond set on this case. We are asking that that bond remain as set, that the defendant have no further contact with Chandra Alvin, stay away from the residence of Miss Alvin, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and family violence intervention program as part of this. We are concerned based on the fact he already had a previous family violence battery for striking a taqueria Reading, causing bleeding and lacerations just last year, and now has this new case. We would at this time like to sound for Ms. Chandra Alvin, and that's all for the state.
Ms. Alvin, if you'd like to address the court, this is the time to unmute and start your video. I do see a C, Alvin, so.
Hello.
Yes, please start your video. All right, Mr. Haddad, what would you like to tell us?
Your Honor, not so much as far as the facts, other than point out that this happened back in March of 2024, which is probably, I think, around the same time as the other case. So it's not a situation where he was, he bonded out on the other case and then got arrested on new charges. And I only say that because there's obviously stay away is not an issue in this case. The parties have not had any contact with each other at all. My client is born and raised here in Atlanta. He's 27 years of age. Judge is a forklift operator by trade. And I would just ask the court to consider either keeping the 25 or changing it to through pretrial services, Judge.
And Miss Alvin is here on the Zoom, Your Honor. She was able to activate her video.
I got it. Thank you. Miss Alvin, did you want to address the court? Please unmute.
I just don't want him to have no contact with me, and I still want to continue pressing the charges.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go. All right. Just give me 1 second. So the other battery family violence case, which is still open and pending, 24 CR 000546, allegedly occurred on October 8th, 2023. And this one, and he's got a status conference scheduled for tomorrow at 10 a.m. with Judge Taylor. I'm not sure what happened with diversion in that case. Looks like it was scheduled for, okay. On the each count of battery, that's going to be 1,000. On each count of the simple battery is going to be 500. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4,500. That's going to be a surety bond. Case is reset to July 22nd. If the prosecution wants to alert Judge Taylor's division that This individual is currently incarcerated unless he makes bond between now and then. The case is going to be reset to July 22nd, along with 24 CR 000546. And no illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And he is to have no further contact with Chandra Alvin. Thank you.
Your Honor, we have two guys that are not on the calendar. This is Willie Moses and Randy Potter. I'm trying to figure out what they want on the calendar.
Okay,
So-
Willie Moses.
Yes.
And what's the other name?
Randy Potter.
Randy Potter. Okay, Miss Folk.
Randy Potter, Mr. Sirocco will be handling that. For some reason, we made repeated requests to try to unlink the case. For some reason, it's not unlinking on our side. The clerk's office was able to unlink it, but we can't. And so it won't file down and we can't get a CR number. So we will just have to do a bond hearing on that without the CR number. And on Malik Moses, I can take a look and see what's going on there. Do you have a booking number on Mr. Moses?
Booking number is 251-2356.
Said Moses went to felony.
Okay, that was transferred to the DA's office under 24 PI 007530.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the other one for Potter, we're just going to address bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
Presentation. Okay. In the meantime, we still have a couple of blanks on this calendar that have not been addressed. So position number one, or should I go to ACDC first?
You can go to ACDC.
All right.
I think a number of those people are ACDC
All right.
inmates, Your Honor.
Got it. Thank you. Deputy Francois, are we ready?
Yes, good afternoon, Judge Law. I do have position number one, Ms. Boyin, and they do need to hear their rights. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Judge Law, and we're going to be addressing these new cases that have been recently accused against each one of you. When I call your case, I'll let you know what's the case number, the charges brought against you, to appoint counsel where necessary, and to set a bond. Please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Jasine Boyin?
Yes.
Ms. Boyin is accused of 2 counts of battery and 1 count of simple battery from 25 SC 003868D. 868D, yeah. Ms. Boyin, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Any priors?
5. On probation out of Clayton County, harassing phone call. 2022 simple battery dismissed and 2 FTAs from 13.
All right. In 2013. Thank you. And Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. We did have an opportunity to speak with Miss Letitia Jackson, who is the mother of the victim in this case, KJ. At the time of this incident on February 10th of this year, KJ was 2. She is now 3 years of age. Miss Jackson stated that she received pictures from Duante Jackson, the father of KJ, of scratches and bruises on the back of KJ's legs and back. She was told by the father of KJ that his girlfriend, the defendant, had beaten the child for pooping on herself and not sharing her iPad. She stated that there is an open defects case where they have ordered the defendant not to have contact with KJ. She stated to her knowledge, the child's father has not had the defendant around the victim. She does not want the defendant to have contact with KJ, and we would like to sound for her as she may be here on Zoom. Miss Jackson also had indicated there had been previous disputes about mistreatment of KJ at the hands of the defendant from October of 2024. And so this is not the first incident that we're aware of. It's just the first incident where defects became involved. based on the fact she is still on probation for the harassing phone calls that she pled NOLO to and has prior FTAs, we are asking for a $6,000 surety bond, $3,000 per count, no further contact with Letitia Jackson and KJ, no unsupervised contact with any minor children, stay away from 5401 Old National Highway in South Fulton, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and we would recommend a parenting class. Quite frankly, 2-year-olds poop themselves. That is not a reason to resort to corporal punishment. That's all for the state. We would like to sound from Miss Letitia Jackson.
Letitia Jackson, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute.
I'm here.
All right, you need your video on. Okay, Miss Jackson, do you have anything else to add?
No, I agree with everything they said.
Okay, and is the child in your custody at the present time?
She is.
Okay, thank you so much. Please mute your screen. Mr. Haddad?
Your Honor, my client does not have any contact with the child's father anymore, which I think at the time they probably were seeing each other. So the stay away is a no-brainer. There's not an issue there. My client's 32 years of age. She has been employed for the last 3 years, has 4 of her own children, Judge. I would just ask the court to consider a much lesser bond amount. I understand she may not be eligible for a release through pretrial services, but we'll try to make it as low of a bond as possible so she can post bond, go back to work, and attend to her kids as well.
Okay. On count 1, battery, that's going to be a $1,500 surety bond. Count 2, battery, is going to be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Count 3, simple battery, is going to be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. The total bond is going to be $4,000. It is a split bond. Once she makes the initial $1,500 surety bond, she will then report to pretrial twice a month. She will enroll and complete a parenting class. She's to have no contact with the minor KJ and with Miss Letitia Jackson. She's to comply with all parenting plans or restrictions as imposed by the Department of Family and Children's Services. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no firearms. She will be subject to random screens. The next court date will be July 22nd. Francois, we have the next case.
Next case, Judge, position number 5, Ms. Carter. This is actually a conflict case. We did not have a conflict attorney available, but she does wish to go pro se.
Okay. This is State versus Teresa Carter, and Ms. Carter is accused of 3 counts of battery, family violence, and 1 count of simple battery, family violence. Alleged incident date is June 26, 2025, and her case number is 25 CR 003-869C. So, Mr. Haddad, I understand your office has conflicted out of this particular case. Is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
All right. So, Ms. Carter, due to prior representation, the Public Defender's Office will not be able to represent you. So you will need appointed counsel from our conflict defense list. I do not have a conflict defense attorney at the present time, but I can appoint Mr. Dennis Murphy to represent you. The clerk's office will get in touch with Mr. Dennis Murphy to let him know that he's appointed to represent you. Would you like this appointment? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
Okay. In that case, then if you choose to waive appointed counsel, then you have a right to hire your own attorney, or you can choose to represent yourself. If you decide to waive counsel and represent yourself, then you are responsible for understanding the laws and the procedures that apply to the facts of your case, and you're responsible for the impact of any legal decision that you make. Do you understand?
Yes,
Do you understand?
yes, yes, ma'am.
And are you waiving your right to counsel and representing yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I understand this matter, Ms. Falk, and I've already read the warrants. I also understand that she's got a prior felony case, 25 SC 003423. Anything else with regards to Militia Carter?
Yes, Your Honor. She's currently on a $15,000 surety bond on that May 18th, 2025 ag assault, which was less than 2 months ago when this incident happened involving MC. I do want to point out that we did get the police report. DFAX has been involved in this, and MC had open lacerations and bruising along her right arm, right buttocks, and visible swelling to her upper arm. She did describe the stick as the width of a molding on the hospital door that her mother had been beating her with. And the officers also did speak with the defendant who admitted to beating the child. We would ask for an $11,000 surety bond, $3,000 on the family violence battery, $2,000 on the, excuse me, let me make sure I have this correct. We would like to ask for an $11,000 surety bond, no further contact with MC unless authorized by DFAX. I know they are trying to establish placement at this time. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons in a parenting class. So we are asking for $3,000 on each of the family violence battery, $2,000 on the simple battery family violence. And MC should not be here on the Zoom due to her age, but I don't know if there is a representative here for MC, and if they would like to speak, you may do so now. That's all for the state.
Mr. Haddad? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just, it was just an automatic
A
thing.
long afternoon, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Carter, do you have anything to add?
No.
I'm sorry?
No, ma'am.
Okay. On each count of battery family violence, it's going to be 1,000. And the simple battery is going to be 500. Your total bond is 3,500. This is a surety bond. No contact with MC, who is your daughter or the alleged victim. You may have contact with MC in accordance with any restrictions or parenting plan that's established by the Department of Family and Children Services. You may return to 3093 Asley Place in Atlanta, Georgia, as long as MC is not living there. All right. If she's living there, you need to find somewhere else to live because you can't have any contact with her. Okay. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and your next court date will be July 22nd. Make sure you maintain a current address with the courts at all time, and we will send you a summons of when to come back to court. Thank you.
Position number 3, Robert Wright.
Oh, okay. Have I completed ACDC, deputies?
No.
Okay, no problem. No. Mr. Robert Bright is accused of battery and simple battery from March 23rd of this year. Accusation 25 CR 3875G. Mr. Bright, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Mr. Haddad. Any prize?
6. Resident of Memphis, Tennessee. According to the booking, got an open drug case out of the cab. Fulton County, I got an open case. I'm sorry. 25 CR 001 775G. 2022 fade to appear. That's it.
Thank you. Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. So the warrant didn't actually give a lot of detail, but the police report we were able to obtain does. This happened on March 23rd, 2025. Mr. Caleb Underwood was beaten by 2 individuals. Officers were able to pull video footage from the skate park where this happened at 830 Willoughby Way. It showed 2 males wearing all black beating on Mr. Underwood. One had a firearm in his hand, striking Mr. Underwood multiple times in the head and the face with the firearm, and then pointing it in Mr. Underwood's neck. The second gentleman then grabbed the firearm from Mr. Underwood, from the defendant who was pointing it at Mr. Underwood, and then they all fled after firing one shot. The shot did not hit anyone. A cell phone was collected from the ground that did not belong to the victim, and that cell phone was determined to belong to the defendant. The defendant was questioned and did admit to, he was shown the video and admitted that that was him striking the victim. The state is going to request, based on a lot more information that we've now received, for this case to be transferred upstairs since he was pistol whipped. Even if it wasn't this defendant who did so, he was participating in the attack. And we would like to ask for a $10,000 surety bond, no further contact with Caleb Underwood, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. We're also asking that he stay away from that skate park located at, located at 830 Willoughby Way Northeast in Atlanta. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. That's all for the state. We would like to sound for Caleb Underwood.
Caleb Underwood, if you'd like to address the court, this is the time to unmute. Yes, Mr. Wright, we'll address you very soon. Just put your finger down. Caleb Underwood. All right, Mr. Haddad?
Your Honor, my client is 41 years of age. He works for a moving company. He has a good address, and he's been living here, even though he's originally from Memphis. Judge, I think, Ms. Falk kind of addressed a little bit. There's more to it. My client was actually interviewed at the scene and was released. He had been cooperating with the detective. He was actually arrested in court when he was reporting to his one case. So he was taken into custody because of these outstanding warrants. So the incident day was in March. Apparently the detective took out the warrant in April. My client was not aware of it when he reported to court, and he's always maintained his court notices. That's when he was arrested on these outstanding warrants. I think there's more to it, Judge. My client maintains his innocence and was not involved the way the state alleges. Under the circumstances, Judge, I would ask the court to consider a much lower bond. I don't recall whether he has any prior FTAs or not, but I would ask the court to consider a much lower bond, or even release to pretrial services. Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, he does have a 2022 FTA.
All right. On the battery charge, that's going, I'm so sorry. Mr. Bright, if you want to testify, you do so at your own detriment. Please remember that you already have an open case for simple battery. We did this a couple of years ago, and I set a bond for you. And now you're back before me again on another matter involving battery.
Yes, ma'am, I want to.
And if you want to say anything, you do so because to your detriment, because the Constitution says that whatever you say can and will be used against you.
May I have permission to address the court freely, Your Honor?
Do you waive your right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Just to show my respect and appreciation for the court, the FTA that, well, just to go back to the last time I was here and use my judge respectfully, we addressed the FTA. The FTA is a traffic ticket that came from Palmetto County. I transferred it to Fulton County. Fulton County never put it on the calendar. I even called to the driving services and never put it on the calendar. Every time I get an arrest, this FTA comes up and no one knows where it came from. I know where it came from. I'm telling Fulton County that Palmetto sent the traffic ticket to them. They never put it on the calendar. They never sent me a notice. So I'm constantly getting these FTAs for that. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is Caleb is my friend. I work at the skate park. So that's how I earn my money when I train young people how to skate. Caleb had an incident with me where he confessed on camera that he was at fault. That's when I had the interview with the detective, he understood that I was not the culprit. I was a defenseless third party that Caleb attacked, that another party came to defend me. And yes, that third party may have went overboard, but in the video, it clearly shows I'm being attacked. I'm defending myself, and a second individual that didn't have anything to do with the situation intervened on behalf of my safety because I was unarmed and Caleb had 2 concealed weapons. Now, that's the second thing I wanted to address. So the third thing is the prior assault case is similar to this one. These are young men. I'm 41 years old, I have a master's degree, I'm a retired teacher. I go to the skate park, I skate myself. I teach skating. I mentor the young men how to have alternative interactions in the urban society instead of doing things like we're used to, gun violence, drugs, and things of that nature. So we're skating. Sometimes these young men may approach the program that I have under some type of influence. Caleb admitted to being under the influence when he attacked me. Detective Miranda is aware of that. That's why yes, ma'am. I'm sitting here with, my public defender.
So, Mr. Bright.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand your position.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you are asserting that it's self-defense, then we need to have a hearing with the police officer with whom you discuss the case.
Yes.
And
yes.
also with the alleged victim.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
according to the warrant, the alleged victim identified you as the person who kept punching him while he was down on the ground.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just trying to tell you where it lies.
I got
And
you.
point number 2, the police officer who swore out the warrant claims that you admitted and confessed that it was you punching the victim.
Well,
now there is your version of events, and there is the police. No, I'm done. You don't need to put your finger up anymore.
Well, I was just going to clarify what
you have your version of events.
And
the
then
victim has his version of events, and the police officer has the officer's version of events.
And there's a video that shows everything in its totality that contradicts
the video shown to the victim shows that you are punching the victim while he's down on the ground according to the warrant. So that is the officer's version of events.
And that was my...
So your attorney is going to subpoena the officer and the victim when you all have a preliminary hearing, so the judge can decide whether this is a bona fide case of self-defense or a case of battery and simple battery.
Yes, ma'am.
But like you said, you already have a battery case open against you.
Right, and that
are on notice that you have an open case, and things like that don't help your situation.
Understood. And just like I was saying, both those cases are going to be dismissed. Just like Caleb didn't show up and say anything against me.
None of the cases are dismissed.
Well, I'm saying, I get that not of now, but the victim.
None of the cases are dismissed.
Yes, ma'am. They're in the process because
none of the cases are in the process of being dismissed.
All right, because I haven't filed those motions of dismissal yet.
None of the cases are being dismissed.
I get that. Yes, ma'am. I was going to file the motion of dismissal.
And you do it whenever you want to. But don't tell me stuff that doesn't exist. I'm done, Ms. Falk. Thank you.
I just do want to point out from your own bond order, he is supposed to stay away from 830 Willoughby Way.
I know. I saw that. I saw that. Thank you. On the battery charge, it's going to be a 2,500 surety bond. On the simple battery, it's going to be a 1,500 surety bond. This is a $4,000 surety bond. Mr. Bright, maybe you didn't understand it from the first case, but you were required to stay away from 830 Willoughby Way until further order of the court. That bond order has never been amended.
Well, I didn't, just for clarity, Your Honor, because I remember you and I remember the case clearly. The only thing that I had restrictions from, because this incident happened before that incident happened. You see what I'm saying? So once I was arrested for the first assault case, that's when I was investigated for Caleb's case. So I haven't had any incidents after that. He brought that case after he investigated me and released me to deem that I didn't do anything wrong. That's why.
Fair enough. You're absolutely right. The current case incident occurred before the April case that we saw you in for.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but the bond still remains the same. It's a $4,000 surety bond. Just because of what you are saying and because the officer is saying, I think that's a bona fide dispute. And this case could go either way. So right now, your next court date is July 22nd, and we're going to address this case, and we're going to address the other case, 25 CR 001 775G. And I highly recommend the next time you exercise your right to remain silent. Anything you want to say in front of a judge the next time, run it by a defense counsel, because you're going to find yourself digging your grave a lot deeper.
Understood. And I was just, just to be totally honest.
Again, you don't get it. You don't get it. Thank you.
You're
Position number 9, Ms. Jenkins.
Jamila Jenkins at ACDC is accused of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe and driving while license suspended or revoked from July 6th of this year. Case number 25 CR 3870G. Ms. Jenkins, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
Shirley, let me know if you got this. I got 10 total. On probation out of Fayette, DUI. Driving without a valid license. I got a 2025 DUI to South Fulton. Driving without a valid license or suspended license. 2023 endangering child by driving under the influence. Cruelty in the second suspended license. Suspended or canceled registration. 2022 DUI arrest. 2012 DUI conviction.
Thank you. What's the current bond amount, Miss?
No bond, Your Honor.
Okay, and what's the state's recommendation?
Due to the, I'm trying to figure out, what I'm trying to understand is, she was arrested in East Point. Okay. So due to the timing on this case, Your Honor, she was arrested in East Point and they took a day or so to transfer her. We will agree to a signature bond through pretrial services level 3. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons, random screens, and we're also going to ask that she not be allowed to drive at all for any reason other than to go to work, school.
Well, she's shaking her head, so she's
medical,
not going to agree.
Or legal appointments based on her history. And she has a suspended license, so she shouldn't be driving
Shaking
now.
her head when you said no driving, so. Ms. Haddad, does your client plan to take another spin in her car?
That's.
I agree, no driving.
All
No driving.
That's what you say now.
Ms. Jenkins, just hang in there. Judge, no, I would ask the court to follow the state's recommendation.
On the driving under the influence of alcohol, that's going to be a $20,000 signature bond through pretrial services. On driving while license suspended, that's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services. This is going to be a level 3 reporting. She will report to pretrial services once a week. She will be subject to mandatory screens for alcohol and or illegal drugs. And so, Mr. Howard, make sure that pretrial services administer screens for Ms. Jenkins for alcohol and or illegal drugs. If she fails a single screen, her bond shall be revoked and she'll be arrested immediately.
They put on a bond order.
Yeah, her bond will be currently 25,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3.
Per judge.
Okay, she has to surrender her license to pretrial services. If she has a physical license, that must be surrendered to pretrial services on her first visit. And she's absolutely not to drive any motor vehicle until further order of the court. No driving at all. I don't care whether DDS gives you a temporary limited permit, whether you get a license from another state because they don't know about these cases, or whether you get a license from the Bahamas. Absolutely no driving whatsoever. If you get pulled over again and you are driving a vehicle, please remember to bring $25,000 back with you to the jail, because that's how much it's going to cost you to be released the next time. Also, within 10 days, I need you to undergo an alcohol and drug evaluation. And undertake a alcohol and drug test in order to determine whether subsequent treatment is required. If the evaluator recommends that you need to seek any kind of treatment for substance abuse, you must submit to that treatment. You need to produce your letter of evaluation to pretrial services on your 4th visit, by your 4th visit. Understood? Don't give me a reason to put you on an ankle monitor.
Can I ask you one question, ma'am?
Sure.
Okay, before this incident, which I take full accountability for, I was accepted into Fulton County DUI court for the incident on May 12th.
Well, if you're accepted into DUI court and they take this new case as well, then on July 22nd, we'll find out what DUI court wants to do with you.
And Your Honor, what I told Ms. Jenkins is I'm going to follow up after today and see what's going on. But thank you, Judge.
All right.
Number 4, Gregory Brown.
Oh, I'm sorry, not July 22nd. You'll have to tell us once she's released, what's the status. Since she's being released on a signature bond. So, Mr. Haddad, we won't be monitoring her to SAP.
Right.
You need to follow up with
Right.
the
No,
clerk's office.
I am.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Number 4, Gregory Brown.
Number 4, okay. Okay, this is the one involving Sherry Brown. Okay. Gregory Bernard Brown is accused of battery, family violence, simple battery, family violence, and 3 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree from July 1st, 2025. This case is 25 CR 3876J. Mr. Brown, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Any priors?
Second, 2010 DUI conviction.
Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. We have had an opportunity to speak with Miss Sherry Brown. She did indicate to us that she and the defendant are a relationship. She stated they live together at this incident location and they do share a child, the incident location being 2637 Old Hateville Road. She stated that she confirmed the events in the warrant, stated that he only hit her in the lip once, which is different than the warrant, which states he struck her twice. She also stated that nothing like this has ever happened before, and she wants no further violent contact. This happened on June 15th. Our biggest concern is this happened in front of their 3 children who were 8, 5, and 1. The 5-year-old is the one who told the police officer that her mother was hit by her father, and the fact that the defendant then left with their 1-year-old child, which is the reason she called police so that she could have the child returned to her. As pretrial accurately stated, the only previous conviction was in 2011. We are agreeable to an SOB through pretrial services level 2, a parenting class, FVIP, no further violent contact with Sherry Brown, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no firearms. We would at this time like to sound for Sherry Brown.
Ms. Sherry Brown, if you'd like to add to whatever the prosecution has said, you need to unmute and start your video. Okay. Unmute. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Are you married to Mr. Brown?
Sorry, one moment. No, ma'am.
And you put your hand down. Has he legitimated the children he shares with you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Haddad, anything else?
I'm sorry, Judge, couldn't find the unmute button. No, Judge, I would ask that my client be released to pretrial services.
Okay. On count 1, it's going to be 2,500. Count 2 is going to be 1,000. Counts 3, 4, and 5 are going to be 500 each. And that's going to be 2, 3, 4, 4,500. And it's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. He reports to pretrial twice a month. No further violent contact with Sherry Brown, so he can have contact with her, but there cannot be any physical or verbal altercations. You okay with that, Ms. Brown? All right. He may return to the house that he shares with her at 226 Peachtree Street unless she doesn't want him there. Then he would need to voluntarily leave the place without any argument. If he does leave the location, then he needs to update the court of his new address within 30 days. Within 30 days also, being released, he must enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. This is a series of 26 classes that he must attend and complete at his expense without missing or skipping any classes. He's also to enroll in an alcohol and drug evaluation within 10 days of being released, and he'll need to submit to any treatment that's required. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no firearms, and make sure he returns to court when summoned. Thank you.
What was that total?
4,500 is what I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to repeat the breakdown?
No. I just need the total. That's all. 45.
Yeah.
I got the
45.
level 2 and all that, but I just missed the amount.
Okay. Thank you.
What number, Francois?
Oh,
22.
22.
Your Honor, if I may ask courtroom 2, we have a courtroom 2. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We have a Miss Emily Stroer in medical. Is it possible that you could bring her up for a bond hearing? Your Honor, Miss Stroer is 35 weeks pregnant, and we're trying to we would like to see if we could resolve this with some sort of bond before Thursday.
You got the history?
I have it. I can go
Okay.
over it with the court once we locate her, but my understanding is she's currently in medical.
Okay. Is this Shila, Payton, Singleton?
Yes, Judge.
All right. 25 CR 003-866A. Ms. Payton is accused of 1, 2, 3, 4 misdemeanor offenses stemming from a July 7th, 2025 incident. And it's 1 count of battery, family violence, 1 count of simple battery, family violence, and 2 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree. Ms. Payton, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Any priors?
Second arrest, 2024 shoplifting.
Thank you. Ms. Falk or Mr. Scirocco?
Thank you, Judge. So we have spoken with the victim in this case. She confirmed she is the mother of the defendant. They live together at 751 Fairburn in Atlanta, and confirmed the events in the warrant with the attack and bruising, the striking, and how this took place in front of the 2 juvenile children, juveniles GS and KG, who are 10 and 1. She explained that this is not the first time the defendant's been violent with her, and not the first time police have been called, but this is the first time there's been an arrest. She explained that she never wanted to press charges and expressed that she's not in fear of the defendant and wants to continue contact. But given the statement about prior violence and given the context of this case, we're not okay with that. We're not comfortable with that. The state will be asking for no further contact and stay away. In total, the state would be asking for a $4,000 total surety, $2,000 on the battery family violence, $1,000 on the simple battery family violence, and $500 on each of the cruelty to children's. That is in the interest of keeping her safe and are concerned for risk of reoffense here. The state is asking for the Family Violence Intervention Program for no further contact with Nicole Singleton. And it's stay away from 2 addresses that we're asking for here. One being 751 Fairburn Road in Atlanta, the home address of the victim here, and stay away from 1105 Research Center Drive, Research Center Atlanta. Yeah, it is Research Center Drive in South Fulton. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And just to reiterate, that Research Center is the incident location.
Okay.
And if we could send for Miss
Nicole Singleton.
Thank
All right, Miss Nicole Singleton, you're on the Zoom. If you'd like to address the court in this case, please unmute and start your video. Did you want to address the case?
I just want my baby to come home.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Haddad?
Your Honor, my client is 19 years of age, going into her sophomore year at college. She does work at Applebee's. I talked to her prior to the court, and I believe she can live with the grandmother in the event that the court imposes a stay away. And if it does, then I would ask one trip back with law enforcement to retrieve her belongings. But as far as the stay away, of course, I'd leave it up to the court. I would just ask the court to consider a release through pretrial services, Judge.
Did your client want to go back and stay with mom, or was she going to branch out on her own and
She had indicated that she did not want to stay with her mom when I spoke to her, Judge.
I'm sorry. Did you want to stay with your mom, or you don't want to stay with your mom?
I don't want to stay with my mom.
You don't want to stay with your mom?
No,
Do you want to have contact with your mom?
not really.
No, I don't want not really. I want a definitive yes or a definitive no.
No, ma'am, I don't want no contact with her.
That's a double negative.
Yes, double.
Your Honor, I can clear up. She does not want to have any contact.
Appreciate it, Mr. Haddad. All right, Miss Singleton, Mama Singleton, unfortunately, your daughter is grown and she can make some of these decisions on her own. On the battery family violence, it's going to be 2,000. On the simple battery is 1,000. And each count of cruelty is 500 each. This is a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. She will report to pretrial services once a month. She's to have no further contact with Nicole Singleton. She's not to communicate with Miss Singleton in any way, form, or manner. And she's to stay 200 yards away from Miss Nicole Singleton. She's to stay 200 yards away from 751 Fairburn Street in Atlanta, Georgia, and stay 200 yards away from 1105 Peachtree Research Center Drive in South Fulton. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons.
And apologies. Continue, Judge.
I'm sorry. Within 30 days of being released, she will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program, and she will attend and complete all 26 classes at her expense. Also, within 30 days, she will update the court with her new residential address, and she'll need to come down to the clerk's office and provide that in writing. This is an open pending case against you, Miss Shila Singleton. So make sure you comply with the conditions of the bond. Otherwise, you might end up back in jail, either in a cash bond or no bond status. Thank you.
And just for clarification, yes, it's just on the first address you were ordering a stay away from. I believe you said street. It's 751 Fairburn Road in Atlanta is what we have.
Fairburn Road. Okay, Fairburn Road in Atlanta, Georgia. Got it. Thank you.
Add on one, Mr. Potter.
Listen, add on. May I have a booking number for,
You want the case number?
or even a case number?
25 CR 003-897G, as in green.
Okay, thank you.
And I have a booking number as well, Judge.
Oh, no, that's okay. I didn't know whether it had been accused. So 25 CR 003-897G is State versus Randy Porter. And
Potter.
What's in Potter?
Yes.
Oh, like Harry Potter. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And this is
Yes.
I only see one count for fair evasion.
So that's correct, Judge. So we have been having trouble getting that the remaining 4 charges, which we are still proceeding on, unlinked. Only one came to us unlinked.
Okay.
At other, clerk's side, they've been able to unlink it, jailing side as well. 2, apparently, there's just something on our end.
So what are the charges against Miss Potter?
The charges against Mr. Potter are
Mr. Potter, excuse me.
It's prohibited, certain acts, bus, rail station prohibited is count 1. Marijuana possession less than an ounce is count 2. There are 2 counts of willful obstruction that are counts 3 and 4. And the 5th one that's available to you is fair evasion. And that's probably how that was presented before Your Honor on the add-on.
Okay.
Nonetheless, the state's recommendation is a signature bond through pretrial services. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's his only arrest, but we are asking for a stay away from the Ashby MARTA station, which is located at 65 Joseph E. Lowry Boulevard. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
And he got a 2025 FTA.
2025 FTA, you said? Okay. Then in that case, we would recommend $1,000 surety bond. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay. Mr. Haddad, do you Mr. McLean, do you represent Mr. Potter? Okay. And just to clarify, Ms. Bridgewater, do you have all 5 charges on the bond order?
I'm sorry. No, ma'am, I don't. I'm gonna need them again so that I can put them on there.
Okay. For count 1 is prohibited acts at a bus or rail station.
Okay,
Count 2 is misdemeanor possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce.
okay,
Count 3 and 4 are willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer.
okay.
And count 5 is fare evasion.
I have it. Thank you.
Each count is going to be $500 for
Okay,
a total of 2,500 signature bond through the jail. And Mr. Potter is to stay away from the Ashby MARTA station. He can embark and disembark at any other MARTA station as long as there's no active suspension against him. But he cannot stop or embark from the Ashby MARTA station. He cannot be anywhere at the Ashby MARTA station except in transit, whether by bus or by rail.
okay, I have it.
All right. And Mr. McLean, your client's next court date will be sent to his current address. Please make sure he provides that in writing within 30 days of being released.
Very good.
And did you, oh, okay, that was Officer Rocco. Okay, that was good. Thank you.
Yes, sir. The next case is position number 6.
Did you say 6?
What I said.
That's what I thought.
The deputies are giving us boomerang cases today. We're going back and forth. Okay, position number 6. This is Salman Chowri, accused of battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence from July 9th of this year. His case, are you done combing your hair? Okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I wanted to be presentable for you. Good morning, Your Honor. I apologize.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chowdhury. Your case number is 25 SCR. I don't know why I keep going SC. CR 003883G. And you have been advised of your right to remain silent. And Mr. Haddad, that's your client?
It is, Judge.
All right, sir. And let me see.
Third arrest, he got an open case out of Gwinnett for battery DV and simple battery DV.
What year was that?
I think it was 24.
24, okay. And Mr. Scirocco, I understand this involves his father. I think it was Shahzad Chowdhury.
That is correct, Judge.
All right. Anything? What's the state's recommendation for bond?
So the state's recommendation, I just want to clarify a few points on that. The arrest that pretrial mentioned for battery family violence and simple battery family violence, both of those are out of Gwinnett. And I say both of those because they're 2 distinct cases.
Oh, okay.
That he received bonds for on the battery family violence, which I believe preceded the other, was $1,000 surety he received. And on the Gwinnett County, he received a $3,000 surety. And this appears to be stemming from a larger problem within the family because we've spoken with the victim and he confirmed the events in the warrant. I believe he elaborated, that the defendant was actually demanding money from him. Then
I got all that part already. So gas money and all that at the station and so.
Yeah, there's more, Judge, with respect to what he provided.
Okay, what else did he provide that was not in the warrant? Because this seemed to be a tiff over gas money at was it the BP or Chevron? I can't remember.
This was a QT, and there was he explained that he pulled over and then the defendant actually put a knife to his neck and continued to demand money, which I don't believe was in the warrant. Also, that the defendant placed both of his hands around his neck and began to strangle him, due to which he was not able to breathe. Explained he was begging the defendant to stop. And ultimately, when he got out of the car, this is what he was running from. And he sustained further injuries, including bruising to his elbow, knee, eye, and that it's not the first time the defendant's been violent towards him and not the first time police have been called. But on those Gwinnett County cases, they are both against his daughter, so the defendant's sister, and his oldest son's wife, the defendant's sister-in-law. He stated he does not want contact with the defendant, and should be on the Zoom. We would ask the court sound for him. But given this broader family issue with violence the defendant seems to have and just won't let up on within the past several years, we're seeing this, that we're concerned for the safety of this victim and the broader family. So the state's recommendation is $6,000 total surety, $4,000 on the battery family violence, $2,000 on the simple battery family violence. We're asking for the defendant to enroll and complete FFIB. No further contact with Shahzad Chandri, stay away from the home address, which is 300 Peachtree Street in Atlanta, and stay away from the QT located at 10th Street Northwest, Atlanta. We're asking no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while on bond, and we would sound for Mr. Chaudhry.
Mr. Is it Shahzad Chowdhury? If you're on Zoom, this would be the time to unmute and start your video. All right, Mr. Haddad.
Judge, the stay away is not really an issue. The address, the address is actually my client's address. The father apparently travels, but he has moved and is staying with his daughter. So I'm okay. We're okay with the stay away from the father, Judge. I just want to be clear that the actual residence is my client's residence. He is employed. He's working in retail, Judge. He's 28 years of age, born and raised here. He used to be a restaurant manager before got himself in a retail sales, Judge. I would just ask the court to consider it the lowest bond possible, if not pretrial services, Judge. Thank you.
All right.
And Judge, we don't have confirmation from the victim that he no longer lives there or only lives there temporarily. We would still be asking for the stay away out of an abundance of caution here.
This just happened on July 9th, which is today.
Yes,
And
this morning.
these two individuals are apparently in a car together, and I'm not certain how dad and son happen to be together. So unless Mr. Shahzad Chowdhury is here to give me some verification, Mr. Haddad, do you have any other independent verification from a family member that Shahzad Chowdhury lives with them and not with Salman Chowdhury?
I do not, Judge. I did get a number for the sister, and I tried to call, but I've not been successful making any contact, independent contact, Judge.
All right, thank you so much. On the battery family violence, that's going to be a 5,000 surety bond. On the simple battery family violence, it's going to be a 5,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3. This is a total of a $10,000 split bond. Once Mr. Chowdhury makes bond on the $5,000 portion, he will then report to pretrial services once a week. He will have no further contact with Shahzad Chowdhury. And if Mr. Shahzad Chowdhury lives at 300 Peachtree Street at apartment 6M, then Mr. Salman Chowdhury is not allowed at the property until Shahzad Chowdhury vacates the property. He's allowed a one-time visit with a police officer to verify whether Shahzad Chowdhury does not live there, and if that's the situation, he can return. Otherwise, if Shahzad Chowdhury occupies the premises, then Mr. Salman Chowdhury has to vacate the premises by retrieving his belongings in the presence of an officer and provide us with a new address within 30 days of being released. He's also to stay away from the QT gas station at 630 10th Street in Atlanta, Georgia. He's to have no further contact with Shahzad Chowdhury and all his other immediate family members. He's not to communicate with them in person, through mail, email, phone calls, third parties, and even on social media. This wider scope of no contact is because of his other open pending Gwinnett County cases also involving family members. His next court date for our current case is going to be July 22nd. And if he is also released on bond, please make sure that he enrolls and completes a domestic violence intervention program within 30 days of being released and complete all classes without missing or skipping them. Mr. Chowdhury, you've got a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. If you want to waive your right to remain silent, you do that to your own detriment.
No, thank you, Your Honor. I will take your advice and reserve my right to remain silent. I would like to, if possible, provide my attorney, Mr. Haddad, a couple additional phone numbers so he can get the verification of my father no longer living with me.
Okay.
Mr. Chaudhry, I'd ask to give it to Mike, Mr. McLean, who's next to you. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll definitely do that. Judge, just to input it there. My father, he does not reside in America. He lives.
You remember what I just said about right to remain silent?
Correct. I understand, Your Honor.
All right. If you have details, give it to Mr. McLean. He'll then decide what should be disclosable.
Sounds good, Your Honor. Thank you so much. I highly appreciate it.
Next case, please.
Hey, they sent another add-on too.
Number 21.
Judge.
All right. If you can put in the chat to me what the case number is, maybe I can get a peek at it before. Oh, is there a calendar?
Yeah, it's a calendar.
Okay. 21. This is Nicholas Russell, accused of Sorry, got it. Okay. Frank Simmons, accused of criminal trespass from July 7th of this year, 25 CR 3865C. Mr. Simmons, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Mr. McLean. Any priors?
40. On probation out of Muskogee. Possession of meth. Got an open burglary first degree. Use of a firearm by a convicted felon during the commission. They can put the case number on here. 2024 probation. I got 3 2024 trespass arrest. 2023 obstruction conviction. 23 terrorist threats arrest. We got a lot of probations, and he's wanted out of Muskogee.
Okay,
and
thank
a resident of Columbus,
Ohio?
Georgia.
Okay. Mr. Scirocco, what's your bond recommendation and what's the stay away?
Yes, Judge. So on account of those, what you've heard with respect to the history on the burglaries, well, you've heard one burglary. There is another arrest for burglary from 2014, including a damage to property.
This is a CT charge. Let's stick to the
Yeah.
last 5 years. So
Yes.
what's your
So-
bond recommendation?
The state's recommendation is $1,000 surety. We're asking for a social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing. No further contact with Viola Turner, who lives there. Stay away from 778 Dill Avenue, Southwest Atlanta. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Mr. McLean, any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Bond set at $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from.
I'm sorry. I thought you were asking if I had any objection to it. Signature bond.
He won't qualify for a signature bond. He's got an open burglary case.
Very good then. $1,000 surety bond was what I would have asked for in the alternative.
Okay, it's $1,000 surety bond. Reset date is July 22nd. Stay away from the Dill Avenue location. No contact with Viola Turner. So do not communicate with her from the jail, in person, mail, email, phone, social media, and no illegal drugs, alcohol, and weapons. Thank you.
Okay. It's just like you found it. All right.
Mr. Neal. Mr. Neal. No, you're done.
Jeffrey, how we doing?
I'm trying to wake him up.
We'll see him tomorrow. No worries. Who do we have?
Neil, number 15.
Anthony Neal's case number is 25 CR 003-879C. Mr. Neal is accused of theft by shoplifting from July 8th, 2025. Mr. Neal, are you awake?
Yes.
Are you awake?
Yes. Yes.
I want to make sure you hear your constitutional rights. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you choose to say can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Michael McLean will be representing you. Mr. Howard, any prize?
Yeah, 33. He got 2 bench warrants. I think they for shoplifting out of state court. 2017 disorderly conduct conviction. 2 shoplifting convictions from 2010.
Thank you. Mr. Skorelko?
Yes,
What's
Judge.
your
And I
bond
also,
recommendation and stay away?
and I also saw that there was a theft by shoplifting. It actually turned out to be a conviction from 2014. That was from the same CVS as the case.
Present time.
Yep. And on those open cases, same CVS as here. So he keeps returning back.
Uh-huh.
His recommendation for this case is a $1,000 surety. As it is already set, we would ask it remain set at $1,000 surety for him to undergo an anti-theft course, stay away from the CVS at 2555 Bolton Road, Northwest Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And I can confirm he is being held on FTAs for the aforementioned cases.
Understood. Thank you. Mr. McLean, that is the lowest bond I'm going to go with because he's got his FTAs. I've already seen his prior cases, and this could arguably also be a felony charge.
Understood, Your Honor. We would have asked for 1,000 surety if indeed a signature bond cannot be had.
Okay. And this is going to be a $1,000 surety bond. Stay away from the CVS store at 2555 Bolton Road. Mr. Neal, you'll also be required to stay away from any store that has the words CVS on it. If you see the word CVS on it, you cannot enter the building. Do you understand? Yes or no?
No.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Good. And your next court date is going to be July 22nd. Ms. Bridgewater, he's got 2 open cases still with us. Do you see them?
No, ma'am. Will you give them to me, please?
Sure.
Yeah, I have the case numbers here for you. They're both in dormant bench warrant status. The first is 24 CR 001920C. And the second is 24 CR 005632C.
5632C?
Yes, ma'am. Both of them theft by shoplifting.
I have them. Thank you. And Your Honor, you want them both added to this AP calendar as well?
Yes, please. So it's 2 FTAs and then this new case.
I have it. Thank you.
Thank you.
What was the bond for Mr. Neal?
For Mr. Neal's $1,000 surety.
Okay.
Are we ready for the Emily Stroer?
She hasn't been interviewed yet.
Your Honor, if we could briefly have Mr. Petey McLean speak to her. The state is agreeable to an SOB through pretrial services. So I'm hoping this won't take too long.
What level?
Level 1.
All right.
What's the booking number?
All right, Mr. Neal, if you please go back and sit there. Miss Emily Stroer, if you please come forward, if you're able to do so.
And Your Honor, Grigsby, is that a medical reset again?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Miss Falk, can you call for room 2404 612 2392, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Okay. This is State of Georgia versus Emily Elizabeth Stroer. Are we listening? Okay. You can talk to Mr. McLean at your leisure. I just want to let you know right now that your case, you are charged with battery, family violence. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court and any statements that you make can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. And presently you have Mr. Michael McLean, who will be representing you. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
the state?
There was one, Your Honor, from 2022, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The defendant went through pretrial diversion and completed successfully, so that case was dismissed.
Okay. And what is the nature of contact that the state is seeking with Javier Ramos?
So we did speak to Mr. Ramos. He stated that she is pregnant with their child, that he does not wish to have any further contact, and he wants her to stay away from 330 Old Preston Court in Johns Creek. He stated their relationship is quite volatile, and there's been numerous instances kind of like this of violence and just a volatile relationship. He stated that the argument they were having when she about the debit card when he scratched her was about her trying to purchase marijuana. So we are asking for an SOB through pretrial services level 1, random screens, as well as no further contact with Mr. Javier Ramos. Stay away from 330 Old Preston Court. He stated that is his family home, not hers. And he did state he does not wish to be on Zoom today.
Okay. And yes, Mr. McLean?
Right, so I'm just now meeting her, so when we get to the point where she agrees to something, let me have a minute with her on mute.
Just pertinent facts, if you can confirm, does she still live at Nakuchi Way in Canton, Georgia? Is that her current address?
I've not yet spoken with you on it.
Okay, we can mute your screen and do that. I'm just going to go over the calendar on some issues. Mr. Haddad, if you don't mind.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So on the add-on calendar, we had Randy Potter, and that's going to be a 2,500 signature bond through the jail. And then on Emily Stroer, we are still awaiting a disposition. And on Willie Moses, what did we do?
Your Honor, Willie Moses was the case that was upgraded to that 24 PI case I cited to earlier. The DA's office did accept that case as a felony.
Okay, thank you. All right, and Mr. McLean still talking. So on the main calendar, position number 1 is going to be a 4,000 split bond. Reset date is July 22nd. That's for Boyin. Position 2, Bradley, that's going to be a 4,500 surety bond, and that's reset to July 22nd along with this other case. Position 3, Wright, is a 4,000 surety bond, reset date to July 22nd. Position 4 is a 4,500 signature bond to pretrial level 2. Position 5, Carter, is a 3,500 surety bond, reset to July 22nd. Position 6, Chowri, is a $10,000 split bond, reset to July 22nd. Position 7, Grigsby, is going to be a medical reset. So this is going to be reset to July 10th at 2 p.m. tomorrow in the afternoon.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
No, we don't do Thursdays
Oh,
anymore.
not Thursday. Oh, sorry. Okay, you have to keep reminding me.
That's
Okay.
okay.
All right. So the next court date will be July 11th. Sorry. Okay, July 11th at 2 p.m. Position 8 is a 3,000 cash bond only. Reset date July 22nd, along with this other case. Position 9, Jenkins, is a 25,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. Absolutely no driving, and possibly a candidate for a case may be transferred to DUI court. So we're going to stop at position number 9. Mr. McLean, are we ready to proceed with Ms. Stroer?
We are.
And I think the state's recommending a signature bond, but no contact with Javier Ramos, and stay away from the Preston Court location in Johns Creek. Any objection?
No objection, and she does live on the Coochie.
Okay.
And Your Honor, we were also asking for random screens based on her prior case and the argument between the two parties.
Okay, understood. Thank you. So, Ms. Stroer, your bond is going to be set at 2,500. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. You will have to report to pretrial services once a month. If you have a medical reason why you cannot visit pretrial, you need to make sure you present that to pretrial services and say you've got a medical reason why you can't. You make sure you get that from your doctor. While you're reporting to pretrial, you will complete 1 anger awareness class, and you will also not consume any alcohol, no illegal drugs, and not own or possess any firearms. You will be subject to random screens for illegal drugs and alcohol. Your next court date will be sent to your current address in Canton, Georgia. And if you change your address, make sure you let the court know that in writing by filing that with the clerk's office. In the meantime, you're to have no contact with Javier Ramos. You're to stay 200 yards away from him and do not communicate with him in any way, form, or manner. If that is his child, if you want to let him know that the child is born, please don't contact him. He can find that out from somebody else, but you yourself cannot directly speak with him. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're to stay away from 330 Old Preston Court in Johns Creek, Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That concludes her case. Going back to the main calendar, position 10, Gerald Jones with 3,500 surety, reset to July 22nd. 11, Joshua Jones is was it a
$6,000.
6,000 signature bond through pretrial, level 2? Would that be correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And then position 12 is going to be a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial. Position 13, that was Tyler Lute. Did we ever address that case?
Right here in front of you, Your Honor.
Oh, he's there. Okay. This is State versus Tyler James Lute, accused of criminal trespass causing damage to property. His position number 13 on the calendar. This stems from a March 20th, 2025 incident, and his case number is 25 CR 3877C. Mr. Lute, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. McLean. Mr. Howard, any priors?
I got 5. It's mostly driving, suspended license, and driving without a valid license.
All right, thank you. Mr. Scirocco, what's your bond recommendation?
Thank you, Judge. It is, well, we've spoken with the victim. They're not in a relationship. They don't live together, and they share a child. She confirmed the events in the warrant. She explained that they're currently in a custody battle, and that the defendant is not following court orders and has taken their daughter, and she's not seen the child in 3 months. But on this charge, the state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services for the defendant to have no further contact with LaJayus Gibson. Stay away from the apartment complex located at 800 Marietta Street in Atlanta. We're asking for third-party transport for the child, comply with any existing custody orders, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay.
And we would ask the court sound for Miss Gibson.
My concern is the child. Where is the child?
From my understanding, he still has the child, but this goes against current custody orders. There was the police report that we received actually came in. It was about a subsequent incident where she was scheduled to meet Mr. Lutke on June 11th at a McDonald's to exchange custody of the 1-year-old. And prior to that exchange, he just cut off all contact and blocked her on certain accounts. So it seems like the child is still in the custody of Mr. Lutke against, from my understanding, the court's current custody orders.
All right. Is there a LaJayus Gibson on Zoom? You need to unmute and start your video.
Hello.
All right. Are you Miss LaJayus Gibson?
Yes, I am.
All right. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I swear.
All right. Miss Gibson, are you married to Mr. Tyler Lute?
No.
When the child was conceived, were you all married?
No.
And has he filed a legitimation case for the child?
Yes.
When did he file it?
September, the end of September of 2024.
All right. And where was it filed? Which court?
Gwinnett Superior Court.
All right, and is there a parenting plan at the present time?
Yes.
And what does the parenting plan, who has physical custody?
We both share custody. So custody of Milani Gibson, and we're supposed to rotate back and forth. So the transition is Monday through Wednesday, is back and forth. So I get her just following Wednesday. So he get her the next Wednesday, I get her the next Wednesday, and that's usually how it goes from Monday through the following week.
All right, and how do you deliver the child?
Usually we meet up at whatever location we discussed before.
Okay, and when's the last time you saw your daughter?
June 5th.
That's a month ago.
Yes, I have no idea. I didn't know Tyler was locked up. I made contact with him before and he blocked me on all social media accounts. And also through his email that he was contacting me on, he doesn't have a phone number that is active that he has given me. So I haven't seen her since. I just did a wellness check yesterday where I called the authorities and they didn't let me know that he was arrested or anything. They told me that my daughter was out with his mother and that was it. But I haven't seen her since June 5th.
All right. Mr. McLean?
Your Honor, he appears to be 24 years old and has a stable address, a high school graduate, according to the Odyssey report, and he's been a manager at Freddy's. We would ask the court to give him a signature bond with appropriate conditions.
All right. Bond is going to be set at $15,000. And it's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, level 3. Within 48 hours of being released, the minor child, what's the initials of the minor child?
MG, Milani Gibson.
The minor child must be returned to Miss Leleus Gibson at the normal drop-off point, which is where, Miss Gibson?
On our court order is the Decatur address of McDonald's.
Is that where you'll be to pick her up?
Yes, I can.
All right. So it will take 24 hours to release Mr. Lutke. Today is the 9th. So on Friday, July 11th at 12 noon, Mr. Lutke will be at the McDonald's. Not Mr. Lutke, I'm sorry. His mother or third party will be at the McDonald's with the child on July 11th at 12 noon, no later than 1 p.m. So you need to wait there till 1 p.m.
Okay.
And the child shall be transferred back to Miss Leleus Gibson, the biological parent. After that, Mr. Lutke is to have no further contact with Miss Leleus Gibson. Compliance with the parenting plan will be through a third party. So, Miss Gibson, you will need to make sure you have a friend or a relative be at the McDonald's so that Mr. Lutke can pick up the child, and then on the in accordance with the parenting plan, he's to return the child by the Wednesday or whatever date you said. It's every Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 1 week him, 1 week you.
Yes.
Okay. So if the child is not returned to you by July 11th by 1 p.m. at the McDonald's, you know where it is, right?
Yes.
Mr. McLean, does your client know where that is?
Do you know?
I have to look at our document.
Okay, he'll get it out of the document, I believe.
Well, you let him know he needs to be, his mother needs to be there with the child, not him, his mother. And if the child isn't returned to Miss Gibson, all she needs to do is contact victim advocate, and this $15,000 signature bond will be converted to a cash bond. Any questions?
The address again, Your Honor?
I don't know the address. It's a McDonald's in Decatur, and I assume they both know it because it's in the parenting plan.
Okay, there's a lot of McDonald's in Decatur.
And your client hasn't got a clue what the court order says?
Well, he was saying he could read the document, but do we have like what part of town in Decatur it is?
Well, if he has, this is going to be a $15,000 roll of the dice. So either delivers the child on July 11th or he comes to jail with $15,000.
Right,
Which one does he prefer?
We definitely don't want to roll the dice. I would prefer to nail down the exact location.
Miss Laleas Gibson, do you have the exact location of this McDonald's? Because you know we only have 1 billion of them on this planet.
Yes, I can try to contact his mother, the address before, if she has the same contact information.
What's the address that you have in your court order?
I can look at it right now. Give me 1 second.
Please do. We'll get back to you very shortly.
Okay.
All right. So while we're waiting for that address, I'm going to go back to the calendar. I've already covered position number 9, right? All right. So position number 13 is pending. Position number 14 is a $2,000 surety bond, reset to July 22nd. Position number 15 is a $1,000 surety bond, reset July 22nd. 16 Pate is a 1,500 signature bond to pretrial level 1. 17 Peterson is a 1,000 signature bond to pretrial. Position 18 Roberts is a $1,000. No, it was a three. Let me.
I got 1,500.
1,500 surety.
I'm so sorry. I think this was on 2 pages. Yeah, you're correct. It's a 1,500 surety bond, reset date July 22nd. Position number 19, Robinson is a $7,000 split bond, reset date July 22nd. Position 20, Russell is a $2,000 signature bond to pretrial level 3. Position 21, Simmons is a $1,000 surety bond, reset date July 22nd. And position 22, Singleton is a $4,000 signature bond to pretrial level 1. 23, Briani Thomas is a $1,000 split bond, reset July 22nd. And position 24, Ronald Wright is a $780 surety bond, reset date July 22nd, along with this other case. All right, Miss Gibson, do you have that address?
Yes, it is 830 Commerce Drive, Decatur, Georgia.
That's the only McDonald's there, right?
Yes, I believe so.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. That McDonald's, by coincidence, is no more than half a block from my original law office when I graduated from law school.
There we go. So make sure you let your client know exactly where it is. So his bond is going to be 15,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. Report to pretrial once a week. Surrender the child to the mother, Laleas Gibson, through a third party, no later than 1 p.m. Friday, July 11th, 2025. And then he has to be in full compliance with the parenting plan. Through drop-off and pickup would be all done through a third party. He himself cannot go to the pickup and drop-off point at McDonald's at 830 Commerce Drive in Decatur, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Next court date will be sent to his residential address, and you'll need to make sure that we have his correct address with the courts. All right. Okay, folks, I think I've addressed all the cases on this new C calendar, which wasn't too bad. Mr. McLean?
Friday should be interesting.
I don't think it's me. Oh, yeah, darn it, it's me. Okay. All right, folks. Mr. Haddad, any questions?
No, Judge, good to see you.
You too, sir. Okay, everyone, y'all have a lovely Wednesday afternoon, and I'll see you, I guess, on Friday afternoon.